we are witnessing something special in Anaheim. After breaking a franchise record with their fourth game of 7+ goals this year, the Anaheim Ducks are looking to take over the entire NHL, moving up to 5th in the league, top of the Pacific Division, with so many players shining even brighter than anyone could have anticipated. Something special, something huge is brewing in Anaheim, is on the horizon. And look, I mean, the standings paint a very clear picture. Not only, Mark, are they 5th in the entire NHL, they've played fewer games than every team above them. You give Anaheim one more game and they get a win, they would be number 1 in the NHL, right? Like, if you give them a 14th game and they win it, that'd be 10 wins and 21 points, would have put them at number 1. Everything is clicking right now for the Anaheim Ducks. Another 7-goal game against the Dallas Stars. What is that, 23 goals in their last 4 games? And so many names are shining. I can't even really pick one. Take a look at the box score, but Mark, we're seriously seeing something special with this young Ducks team, and the rebuild, the young guys, everything is working out exactly to plan.
And I mean, the big thing is looking at the standings once again, they're just 2 points out for being the top of this. But the big thing is a lot of teams ahead of them are an aging Cornelius and the Montreal Canadiens, a very young team. But you have a lot of guys that have been in their prime for some time. Looking at the Ducks, you have so many young talents stepping up that this is only a matter of time where they're going to progress. This team is going to get even better, Josh. One of the hottest teams in the NHL, breaking this record for 7 goals in 4 games to start the season. This is a Ducks team that is more exciting than anyone could have imagined this season, and they are not slowing down in the slightest so far.
Not at all. And again, like I said, it's hard to pick who to talk about. I mean, we'll get into Kreider. I mean, even Killorn with a nice game last game, but there's so much. And like you mentioned, they're the 3rd team in 30 years to score at least 7 goals 4 times in a season's first 13 games. Pittsburgh did it twice. Which is nuts. Again, 95, 96, we're talking Mario, we're talking a lot of stuff. To have the Ducks in that same conversation is crazy. But again, the scoring from everyone has been incredible. You have 4 guys who are above, well, really 5 if you count Granlund, which you should. 5 guys who are at a point per game this season. It's honestly insane. Carlsson, Gauthier, Terry, Kreider now is goal per game, mind you. And he has been on an absolute tear, Mark. Kreider with 5 goals in his last 4 games. I know we talked about in our last video these trades with New York. Trouba, again, leading the NHL in plus minus, and he's not even a big topic of this video. But a guy like Chris Kreider, who is rolling so much on the power play and even strength right now, to be on this pace for like what the Ducks did to get him, I think, again, it's just a masterclass in management. But that combo of young guys and veteran guys like Kreider is really seemingly being a recipe for success. Everything is clicking all at once here.
And I think the big thing with Kreider, we've seen a couple of seasons ago with the New York Rangers, the 50-goal season that everyone was like, how the hell did this guy do it? I think we're getting those flashes of Chris Kreider once again. He has the confidence. He's going in at a goal per game pace. If this team continues scoring at this rate, I think we're going to get this. And listen, the New York fans are not happy. Chris Kreider is getting a lot of flack, and as he should. Chris Kreider has completely returned, Josh. We've seen him miss time and still come back and not miss a beat. I mean, looking at the last 5 games, it's insane what this guy's doing. He's looking like Ovi out there at this point. But this is a team that's getting talent brought in on this roster that are getting back to form, and a lot of players are playing above what people expected. And I think that is just showing how good of a core this team has built with the veterans, the young guys, the coaching style. This is a player that's thriving in this environment, and I could see a 40 to 50 goal season from Kreider again.
Well, if his line mates keep playing the way they're going, I think it could absolutely work. But again, of his 9 goals in 9 games, 5 of them have come on the power play. But in his last 5 games, of his 5 goals, only 2 have come on the power play. So, like, you know, he's still scoring at even strength with 3 even strength goals in his last 5 games for a guy that a lot of people peg as a power play specialist because, well, let's be honest, he is incredibly good at it. But there's so many guys throughout this lineup that are scoring. And again, we got to talk about Cutter Gauthier before we get into even some other guys. Tied for the league lead in goals now with Sidney Crosby, which is a crazy thing to say that Crosby's still there at this time. But Gauthier, I mean, this has been an absolute revelation. He was just named the NHLPA Player of the Week, and for a good reason. He had, 4 straight multi-point games? He has been incredible with 2 more points in this game versus Dallas. This team just continues to roll, and Gauthier, I gotta say, has really been at the heart of a lot of this, right? 18 minutes, 40 seconds time on ice. Now, the Ducks had a lot of power play time. As you can see there, 5.5 minutes for each of Carlsson, for Gauthier, 6.5 minutes for Kreider, 5.5 for Terry, and 7 minutes nearly for Jackson Lacombe, who is due to get some more points, by the way. But yeah, I gotta be honest, man, Cutter Gauthier is probably, we talk about guys who are outperforming their expectations coming into the year. Look, I mean, some of these guys like Trouba, like Kreider, yeah, for sure, but we knew they could be good. We've seen evidence of it. A guy like Gauthier, I think, is just proving to be such a masterful move. And yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone could have seen this level of play coming from him.
And I think the biggest thing, if you're an Eastern Conference GM, block Pat Verbeek's number. He is out here fleecing people, bringing in this guy from Philly, Chris Kreider and Trouba from New York, everything Pat Verbeek did, and he got a lot of criticism. Listen, the apologies are flying through. He has got a lot of pieces that bounce back, and getting Cutter on this team, once again, a very young piece that is showing his worth at this young age, Josh. Looking at the core, I cannot stop just kind of glean over the fact that how young all these players truly are. Obviously, Kreider is not young anymore, but you need these stopover veterans that help with the young guys. We could say that maybe Carlsson doesn't have the type of season he's having without a guy like Kreider on the wing. Maybe Gauthier doesn't have the type of season if you're not getting Granlund on the team to help him in the middle six. But I think with this team, everything they're doing right now is working perfectly. Shout out to Coach Q for how he's executing this as well. But Josh, the goal scoring is there. The points are there. They're scoring. I don't know how this team truly slows down at this point.
No, for sure. And look, they've been shooting up the rankings. The Athletic recently did their power rankings, and the Ducks landed second in today's power rankings. Last week, they were 14th. Sean had him at 2, Dom had him at 4, and they even talk again about Carlsson, which is, again, a very important player that we'll talk about here now. Fun question. Is Carlsson Sweden's #1 center? That's a question, excuse me, bit my lip, question for you guys down below. I get so excited about Leo Carlsson. Is he Sweden's #1 center? The answer has to be yes, right? Not just because of how good he looks, but Elias Pettersson, Zibanejad, Eriksson Ek, none of them have started really hot. They're all fine, but not nearly as hot as a guy like Leo Carlsson. And look, right now, the Ducks have been scoring so much. Like we said, 7 goals against Dallas, 7 against Florida. And they have another tough stretch coming up against Vegas, Winnipeg, and Colorado. But it seems like the Ducks want to step up and play up to the level of their opponents as opposed to playing down. To be able to score 7 on the Panthers and Stars, a lot of that comes from Leo Carlsson, his creation, and even a bit of his goal scoring. Mind you, he's on just like a 35 goal pace, I think, right now, with 6 goals in 13 games, not to mention the 20 points. He's on pace for a 100-point season as a 20-year-old. Mark, Leo Carlsson, to me, has been the biggest X factor on this team. Look, there's so many other guys who are doing well. Even Seneca had a couple points last night, but you look at these game scores, Carlson's always up there in the top 5, and this kind of point production, tied for 4th in the NHL. There's only 3 players in the league that have more points than Carlsson. That's McDavid, Celebrini, and Eichel. And honestly, also shout out to Celebrini, of course, that other California team. But Leo Carlsson has been such a huge driving force for this team. It's incredible to watch what he's done, and I'm really excited to see how he continues, especially with this tough schedule coming up.
And I want to just go back to the stats leaders on that real quick. We're watching 3 generations of talent right now. We're bringing in Connor McDavid. You have a leader like Crosby and even the young guys like Leo Carlsson. This is almost the peak of being a hockey fan, Josh. But going into Leo Carlsson and with Sweden, I think there's a strong chance. Listen, a lot of guys are struggling. We know how good he is. The 20 points in 13 games. He's off to the races. And I cannot see him slowing down. I think a lot of these guys are stepping up because they want to represent their country. And I could see Leo Carlsson keeping this up going into the Olympics. He wants to be that true center. We know Pettersson is struggling. Same with Zibanejad, Joel Eriksson Ek. These guys continue to struggle. Yes, they could put the veterans as the 1 seed because they want that experience there. But I think Leo Carlsson is going out there to prove a point that 1, he cannot be left off this team, but 2, he wants to come in as that top player. And I think he's proven it at this point.
I mean, how do you look at him and say like, yeah, oh, he's just, he's not quite there. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of great players in the NHL, but my goodness, like 20 points for this Ducks team. Again, mind you, just a quick reminder, not every team has played like a few games as the Ducks. Yeah, there's a lot of teams who have played 13, but some teams have played 14, even the Penguins, they're at 15. And so it's like, I don't know, the level of production is crazy. You look at these goal scoring games, 7, and 4 against the Devils and 5 before that. Again, like I said, you have some tough teams coming up against Vegas, against Winnipeg, against Colorado. Then you have a bit of a nice stretch, but even then you have Utah the next week and then Vegas again. But the Ducks are playing up to their competition. The 3rd team in 30 years. I want to just look at this again, Mark. It's honestly incredible. Only the Penguins have ever done it before, and they only did it twice. It's a franchise record for the Ducks, 7+ goals for the 4th time, and this is just the beginning of something really huge. Leave your thoughts on the Ducks down below. That'll do it for this episode. And hey, if you want content like this every single day on your favorite teams, hitting that subscribe button is the best way to stay up to date. Thank you for watching. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host Mark Pye. We'll catch you in the next one.